Hey guys, welcome to my Animal Adventures YouTube channel, and in this episode I want to tell you about a snake that got out of one of my enclosures. He got lost in the house and he's been gone for probably a whole year, believe it or not, and we just can't seem to find him. And I'm going to show you what kind of snake that is, how he got out, and some of the the tricks as far as keeping your snakes secure so they don't get away on you. And another thing I want to cover in this video, I want to show you one of my puppies from the litter. I actually had my second litter of puppies last year. It's a cross between a Rhodesian Ridgeback and a St. Bernard. I kept one of the puppies and he is really big. He is bigger than the mom and he is a terror, let me tell you. I'm going to show you how destructive that dog is and some of the trouble that he's gotten into, and I'm going to cover that in this episode. Okay, so first I want to talk about the snake that got away. It was actually a really tiny California king snake, and I had him originally in one of these tubs. This is an ARS 7030 rack, and I put him in here and closed it up, and you can see in some of these tubs there's a little tiny gap, and I'd say that snake was just a little bit bigger than that gap and it actually slid right out of there. And the funny thing is he got out once, and I found him on the floor and I was like, I must have left the tub open or something, and he got out, and I put him back in here and he got out again. Of course, now for these big ARS tubs, really you need really big snakes that can't get through the gap. I use pretty big snakes. You don't really want to mismatch the size of your snake compared to the size of the tub. And what I really should have done is I should have put them in like a little tub like this that has a tighter clearance. This is really like a hatchling kind of a tub. This is a ARS 1039 hybrid, and this is what I put all my hatchlings in. I don't actually breed king snakes, but if I did, I'd definitely put them in something like this where it has a really tight clearance between the tub and the top. As a matter of fact, what I probably should have done is you know, at the time all I had was my ARS 7030, and I didn't really have anything smaller for that little king snake, and that's kind of why I put him in there. As a matter of fact, I didn't even have my 50-40 tubs at the time, so I was kind of stuck. And as now that I pretty much progressed to buying all these racks, I got tons and tons of racks in this room. I have plenty of options to put a little baby snake in, but at the time I didn't really have that option. And then the other thing is I was actually in one of these big boa tubs, and I took one of my big reticulated pythons out, and it was actually a male, he got his head around the corner of this rodent rack here and had so much power that I couldn't get him off of it, and he actually got into the rodent rack and kind of got away from me and got completely back in the rodent rack. So I would say one of the big things that I really worry about is if my big reticulated pythons ever got away from me and they got loose. The problem is if they go behind this rack and start pushing the tubs open, all the rats start running out, and then not only do you have a loose snake, you have a loose snake behind the rat rack pushing all the tubs open, and now you have snakes and rats running around. Wow, what a nightmare that would be insane. So speaking of really big snakes, I have my two really big reticulated pythons here. This is Lucy, the female in the back, and then Sunny. He's the purple super dwarf reticulated python in the front. Beautiful snakes. And the other day I came down here and I forgot to put the lock back on and I was kind of freaking out a little bit. So this lock is really awesome. It actually just sticks on here with double-sided tape. And I actually I bought this and put it together, and the guy gave me the lock and I actually put it on so I know how it goes on. And it just comes off like this. And if you keep the lock off, what can actually happen is the snake could actually push. I'm not sure if they have enough strength and the right angle, but if they actually pushed it open and got out, man, that would be devastating, especially if I didn't have a door between this and my rats. Oh my goodness, and they get in there and start pushing all my rat tubs open. That would be crazy. So I've been following quite a few YouTubers that raise snakes in their facilities, maybe in their basement or maybe in a larger reptile facility, and a lot of them have actually lost snakes. I've seen almost, I think just about every single one of them has actually lost a snake. And I have this lesser female here. She's kind of She's a beautiful snake. She was kind of hissing when I pulled her out of the tub. She's a little cranky today, but she is a beautiful girl. Yeah, and I would say probably what I lose mostly in this room, it's not snakes. Mostly what I lose is rats. And it's usually when I'm cleaning the rat tubs, moving rats from one bin to another. Seems like every now and then, one of them, I open up the tub and I'm moving them over, and one just gets a wild hair and decides to jump right out of the bin and just kind of bolt, and either that or they kind of sneak around the corner. And I'm getting better. I'm getting actually to where I can catch them a lot easier, and I'm a lot quicker. But it seems like I'd say every month or two I always have a rat that hits the floor, starts scurrying around, and then things get interesting because I have to move all these racks. And usually what I do is I take the towel and I cover up all the spot under the door, and it gets really crazy trying to catch that rat. And thank goodness I've never had a rat get away from me in the house to where I couldn't find it, because especially if you had a pregnant rat and the rate that they breed, that could be really interesting. You might end up with an infestation. Versus a snake, if they get away, that's just not really a big deal. The only thing is there's a lot of people that know that I breed snakes and that I actually have a snake that got away from me. And for some reason, there's a lot of people that don't come over for dinner anymore, and people, you know, they want to come over and spend the night, and this girl's like getting up under my shirt. But some people, you know, they want to come over and spend the night, and then they find out that I've actually had a snake get out and I can't find it and it's somewhere in the house, and then they're like, well, maybe we won't come over and spend the night, or maybe we won't come over and have dinner. And let me tell you, that snake was so small, even if it did come out and crawl on top of you in the middle of the night, it wouldn't even really, you couldn't even do any damage because it's so small. And I'm thinking, you know, it might still be alive because snakes have an incredible stamina as far as going long-term without food and water. I'm not sure exactly how long a little snake like that could live, because it was pretty much a hatchling. If it was a big snake like this, you know, they say snakes can go 2 years without food and water. So if one of these big snakes got out, especially one of my big reticulated pythons, I'm thinking it could maybe even go further, longer than 2 years without food and water. They are incredibly resilient. As a matter of fact, they used to call them gods because it's so unbelievable. You know, you just almost can't even kill a snake because it's so resilient. But, you know, as far as you know, finding that snake, I don't think there's much of a chance that even if we found it, that there would be any hope at this point that a small little hatchling would survive. I'm not sure. You know, it'd be nice to actually find it and kind of nurse it back to health if we could find it. But at this point, I'm pretty much giving up on that snake. All right, guys. So this is little baby Cobra, all grown up. He is a big boy. Whew, look at how big he is compared to Mama. Oh, there's Mama here. She is AKC Rhodesian Ridgeback. Look at little baby. Whew, he is a big boy. I'd say he probably weighs close to 100 pounds, maybe. Sit. Watch me. Yeah, there you go. Good boy. Yeah, I make him sit and watch me before I feed him. It's time to feed him, but I'm not going to feed him. And let's go over here to Papa. This is Papa. He is a purebred Saint Bernard. He is a beautiful dog. And sometimes I'll let these guys run together, but I don't want to let Mama run over here because I don't want Mama pregnant. She's intact, and my Saint Bernard male is intact. His name is Chicote, and they both want to grab the bowl and run around with it. Chicote's pretty much does that all the time, and little baby's kind of following in his footsteps. It's kind of funny to watch them both run around with the bowls in their mouths, but I don't know what they're doing now. He lost it in there. He goes crazy over that bowl. And this is where he stays. He just has a little calf hut that's filled with straw, and he can bear the brunt of the winter without any heat. And these other dogs, I have them over here in a heated tough shed. But let me show you how destructive this dog is. Let's see. He comes right out of there. He's like, Papa's too big, huh? Papa's too big. Yeah, all right, here we go. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. All right, I got them both back over here. But look at what little Cobra's done to this water container. I give him a 5-gallon bucket, and he chews the whole top off of the container, and then he flips it over, chews the bottom, and that's like probably the 20th 5-gallon bucket that he's pretty much destroyed. Yeah, you're a little destroyer, huh? And then I had a double door over here. He tore one door off, and look at how much he's pretty much destroyed the second little doggy door. And then look at this. I've never seen a dog actually start eating a tough shed. He ate the handles off. He's eating the corners off the tough shed. It's pretty incredible. That dog is so destructive. I can't even believe it. Crazy dog. Whoa! Oh boy. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up. That is the story behind my lost snake in the house. It was actually a California king snake, one of the desert phases. It was a black and white banded one, really beautiful snake, and I kind of miss having those king snakes, and I kind of transitioned out of king snakes more into ball pythons, mainly because I saw there was a higher demand for ball pythons at the reptile shows, and I thought I could move the hatchlings a little bit faster than breeding king snakes. And that's the update on my dog. His name's Cobra, and you know, with a snake eye, I wanted a Cobra. I got a dog named Cobra instead. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.